Well, hello, Henderson, Tennessee. Are any Duck Dynasty fans in this house today? It's always good to know we're among friends, you know. Every once in a while we run up on some militant vegans when we're out there running the highways and byways of America. Most of you are wondering, who are you? It's a rare sighting what you're getting today. There's a beardless Robertson on this stage, and there aren't many of us, I can tell you right now. I am the oldest son of the Robertson clan. I claim to be Jacob in a family Esau, so you know why they keep me hidden away in the back. Now you know. And what I want to talk to you about today, I want to introduce Dad, but before I do that, I want to explain a little bit of sort of my view of this whole dynamic world that we live in. And to do that, I have to talk to you a little bit about television. Everybody compares our show to a lot of other shows. They talk about Andy Griffith's show, which I'm in agreement. There's a lot of similarities there. The Waltons. Some say the Dukes of Hazzard, the Beverly Hillbillies. I think all those are true. I say it's also Sanford and Son because Mom's a hoarder. But the show that I most relate to is The Munsters. Are you familiar with The Munsters? Right here? Now, Marilyn Munster was beautiful, but she lived in a family of monsters, therefore she thought she was ugly. I can relate to Marilyn Munster. You see what happened? I worked in ministry for 22 years, and the reason I never grew a beard is because every time I would start to grow long, some little old lady from our church would come up and start pulling on it, you know? Don't you look like your dad, you know? So that's one of the reasons I changed. Now, my brothers weren't born with beards, just so you know. There they are right there. You see that everybody's beardless except for Jeff's got a little growth there. So, you know, at one time, they were all beardless. But to really explain to you today about our family, kind of how we work, I like to do that by just kind of describing it in terms of lab dogs. How many of you have a lab dog at home? Oh, good. A lot of people, a lot of lab lovers here. Now, the black lab, he's kind of the go-getter. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's usually what we hunt with. We usually have black females. Wonderful dogs. I mean, they are ready to go at a moment's notice. It doesn't matter if they have to break through ice. They are going. They're whimpering by the truck. That's sort of like Dad and Jace. No doubt about it. They're always ready to go. I mean, if there's 60 days in the season, they're going to take all 60 and then some because they're going to go hunt out of town and in other states as well. So that's them. Now, the yellow lab is a little more of it's a little more domesticated. Yellow can be a great hunter, no doubt about it, but they can stay home and watch over the kids as well. And that's kind of like Jeff and me. We love to hunt. We love to get out and go. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, we can stay home and sleep in. We don't mind. It's okay to miss a day every once in a while. Now, the chocolate lab, he's a mix, obviously, of these two. And so that makes him a little crazy, a little kooky, and you never know exactly whether he's going to show up or not. That's Willie. There's no doubt about that. Because Willie, you know, he's going to tell you he's going to be there. He's always fashionably late. But Si, how would you describe Si? What about that? People always ask our family, is Si as crazy as he is on the show? I'm here to tell you, Henderson, Tennessee, he is worse in real life than he is on the show. And has been our whole life. And there's a young Si, quite a looker, right? The days, if you look at Si and the other, you think, man, the years have been unkind to Si. But I'm here to tell you, Si is a wonderful man. He's a godly man. He's been married to a saved woman for 43 years now. Has 2 grown children. Wow. He has 2 grown children, and he has 7 grandsons and an 8th on the way. So Si's family is definitely a blessing. Now, I have to tell you, his daughter, Tracy Lee, some of you know, some of you internet stalkers out there, you probably already know this, but she is like the 8th wonder of the world because she is beautiful and intelligent. So I don't know what happened there, but we love Si. But I'm here today to especially tell you about this guy, my dad. There he is back in his football uniform at Louisiana Tech University, sort of looking like Johnny Unitas with that pose, right? Kind of everybody's All-American. You look at that and you think, how do you go from being, a football player to a duck man? How do you make that transition? Do you come to Hardeman as a freshman and say, I want to sign up for duckman classes? And how does that happen? Of course, Dad played at Louisiana Tech with a guy you may have heard of named Terry Bradshaw, and you may have heard this story before, but they actually played on the same team, and Dad started ahead of Terry Bradshaw. So you knew he had some talent, right? Because Bradshaw went on to be a pretty good quarterback. They ran into each other recently at the LAX airport, and they hadn't seen each other in 44 years. So, man, Bradshaw came up, gave Dad a big hug, said he didn't recognize Dad because of the beard, but he'd never forget Miss Kay. And they had a wonderful talk and a wonderful visit. And so that friendship and relationship goes on. When Dad graduated from Louisiana Tech, he continued his education, got his master's degree, and began teaching in Junction City, Arkansas. Now, he thought that was going to be his career, and that's what he was going to do, but he loved outdoors, no doubt about it. Unfortunately, at this period of time in his life, he also began to love sinful things and things other than what God had directed him to. So the first 10 years of his marriage to Mom and my young life, Dad was not the Christian man that he has come to be today. And just like in many of your families, there was a person that God put in his life to lead him back home to the Lord, and that was Miss Kay. So I'm very thankful that she was in our lives. We kid a lot with Mom about being a TV diva, but she's the best. The reason why you love her on the show is why we love her in our family. She really was a rock. Most people in our lives, in our family's life, were pressing Mom to leave Dad, but she wouldn't do it because she knew there was potential there. And that potential really began to grow when he came to be a Christian at 28 years old. Out of that moment of clarity, he decided to build a duck call. And that moment of building that duck call was crucial in the turning point in our family's life. Now, we funded the family business by being commercial fishermen. And I got to tell you, commercial fishing is a faith-based business. Many a morning we were down there on our knees praying because we needed some catfish to swim in those nets. I tell you what, I totally understand why the Lord picked out 4 fishermen as part of his early entourage. Fishing will put you on your knees to the Almighty. And it humbled us to prepare us for what's happened now today with all the success of the show. Dad built that first duck call, and our work crew back then was my grandpa and Dad, myself, and Willie and Jace. And that was it. That's how we built our business. We worked hard, and we worked long, but we gave God the credit for all of our growth. And we began to grow. We began to make videos. And we sold those videos, and people began to sort of build this cult following of this crazy bunch of bearded people down in Louisiana. For 20 years, we were getting used to being on camera because God had a plan for this family. See, he knew where we were going, but we had no idea. After, of course, the videos, then we got on the Outdoor Channel with this show called Duck Commander, Benelli Presents. It quickly became the highest rated show on the network. And so God continued building success in our family. And we were getting more and more comfortable on camera. And then finally A&E came calling, and this little juggernaut called Duck Dynasty came to be. Now, we said there's no way this will work. Nobody cares about seeing a bunch of hunters, acting crazy, and Uncle Si running around being himself. And boy, were we wrong. Our last episode, 9.6 million viewers, made it the second highest rated show on all of cable television from Christian people from Louisiana. How about that? Does God help know what he's doing right? We've since written a couple of books. Dad's book will be out next week. Of course, Duck Commander Family has spent the last 4 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. Dad's is going to hopefully debut in the top 5 on that same list because people are thirsting for something. And we've got something to tell them. This crazy family from Louisiana. Some have beards, one doesn't. But we all love the Lord. And recently, working on our Duck Commander devotional book, my wife Lisa came across this verse, and I want to share it with you as we bring Dad up just a moment. It's Psalm 128. I really think it's the Duck Dynasty verse. Blessed are all who fear the Lord, who walk in his ways. You will eat the fruit of your labor. Blessings and prosperity will be yours. Your wife will be like a fruitful vine within your house. Or doesn't that sound like Miss Kay? Your sons will be like olive shoots around your table. Maybe even saying a prayer at the end for all of America to see. Thus is the man blessed who fears the Lord. One of those men is here to speak to you today and tell you the real story behind the success of Duck Dynasty. That man is my dad, Phil Robertson, the Duck Commander. Welcome to the stage.